I've compiled my new list. You can see it's this one right here. It's the same paper, just the back side of this paper. Anyway, see, it is a very extensive list, so you need to bear with me as I go through here. I'm going to start off with this storm that's hit the U.S. It hasn't done too much here in Arizona, but I was watching some of the news here on YouTube. Some of the Central Texas has got a fair amount of snow, which is kind of unusual for that far south. Now, it doesn't usually snow here in Phoenix. I'm actually just a mile or two west of Phoenix, but essentially I get the same weather as Phoenix gets. And only time I've seen snow here, we'll get a very, very light dusting during like a very, very, like a rainstorm. It's very, very cold. I've seen hail here a few times, but it usually melts fairly quickly because it's not that cold here. That's the reason we have all these winter resorts. Now, the next one I want to cover is for Vice Grip Garage video. Now, his latest vehicle is this, about a 70 Chevy something. But that thing is such a bath of rust. I want to ask Derek, why? Why did you even tackle that car? I don't get it, except if it's just for making YouTube videos. He spent a couple of days getting this thing rolling. He said he's got to put a windshield in there and put it in his museum. I don't get why he spent all that time on his vehicle. It's so rusty. He did get it running. He did drive it, but it's just so damn rusty. It's from part of the country where they salt the roads, and it just rusted the body out. It's not like a desert car. We'll get here in the valley, or here anywhere in the Southwest. I mean, unless you get to the coast or something where the salt air kind of rusts off too. But anyway, I don't get why he spent that time on there, except to make a YouTube video out of it. Vice Grip Garage, check his latest video. Um, let's see, let me get for this chick. Now, let me spell out her YouTube channel. PhoeBeisginger 1. Now, she's talking about people here in the U.S. commuting to work, where they might take 2 or 3 hours driving between home and work. And I don't think she understands how big the United States is. I'm not saying the United States is the biggest country in the world, but we're maybe like fourth or fifth in landmass to some of the other countries in the world. Now, like if I wanted to go from Phoenix to the West Coast, maybe LA or San Diego, I'm going to get a few adventures in San Diego a few times that I've had in a couple of minutes here. But I don't think this chick realizes how big the U.S. is. Now, if I drive from Phoenix to LA or San Diego, it's like an 8-hour trip. And that's maybe a quarter or fifth of the way across the U.S. Now, what's that? The city on the other side of Interstate 10? Jacksonville, Florida. Now, from Phoenix to Jacksonville, Florida, other end of Interstate 10, is probably about a 3-day trip, and that's maybe 2/3 of the way across the U.S. The U.S. is a pretty good sized country. Now, if I hit if I go to Alexa's part of the country, which is in Michigan, which is what we call the Midwest. I'm gonna get to her in a minute here. Story for her. That's we're just a big country, and it takes a while to go across the U.S. Now, for the UK, for England, now they can drive from one end, like from London to the north end of Britain. That's maybe a 3 or 4 hour drive. Because I don't think she realized how big the U.S. is. But that's her YouTube channel, and she's a self-confessed ginger. To me, I call her Strawberry Blonde. She's probably watching my videos. Now, let me get to Alexa. I'm thinking Alexa's probably watching my videos. Now, one idea she had for a date. Yeah, I'd take you up on a date to do this. Now she's talking about going on on Lake Michigan to watch some of the ships. Yeah, I'd do that as a date. Maybe not the most interesting, but that wouldn't be too bad. Just watch some of the ships traversing the Great Lakes. Now I'll get to the Edmund Fitzgerald here in a minute. Edmund Fitzgerald is the bottom of was it not Lake Michigan? I think it's Lake Erie. Is a very, very haunting song by Gordon Lightfoot about Edmund Fitzgerald. It's at one of the other Great Lakes. and that ship went down in 75. I would what you know what now I am the same age as some of the youngest deckhands on the Edmund Fitzgerald in 1950 in 1975 when Edmund Fitzgerald. I was 18, the same age as some of the youngest members of the crew of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is something that has kind of haunted me for many years. I have no idea why, but listen to that song from Gordon Lightfoot. I think we lost him a couple years ago. Uh, about Edmund Fitzgerald. But for Alexa, yeah, I would, Chick, I would go on a date with you to watch some of the Great Lakes shipping on Lake Michigan. Or if you want to do something with me, we could go and watch UFOs out in the desert. That would be equally as interesting. Just sit out in a start, go out in the desert somewhere, put out a tarp, or not a tarp, but some foam pads, and sit all night to listen to rock music, watching, and we'd go out with a few other people, amuse ourselves over watching UFOs land, just tossing it out there to be amusing. For Clyde. Now, this is a very interesting story. This happened many years ago. There was this lady. I was just messing with her because I'm the type of guy that likes to mess with people. This lady, she left us many years ago, but I put my hands on her front bumper, this car she had. Again, being a wise ass, put my hands on her bumper and told her, said a few years ago, this car had accidentally run over and killed this guy named Clyde. And as this guy was dying, he put a curse on the car. And I was just messing with her, not expect, but this lady, very superstitious, and she believed what I was saying, even though I was being a wise ass, just thinking it to be stupid, doing it to be funny, telling her that some guy named Clyde had gotten run over and killed by this car in his last dying breath and put a curse on her car. Actually, that's not very amusing. Actually, that's pretty weird. But just the wise ass that I am. Okay, I've covered that story. Now the last thing I cover is for Laura. Her YouTube channel is Nigella for me. I'm pretty sure she's watching my videos, and she's talking about people that you might hook up with. You would check. What we termed in our time, because we're both older people. We'd say, well, you shack up with somebody. That's a term we used in the 60s, and I'm sure people today use the same term. But she's talking about shacking up with somebody that maybe you're not the best to match with them. That's why you get to know somebody. You hang out with them, do other interesting things. Maybe you go out in the desert and watch UFOs. Maybe you go to the beach. Well, let me get to San Diego here in a minute, because I remember being in San Diego a couple of times and hanging out on the beach. Last time I was over there was probably like about 1983. I drove over there and watched some of the big naval vessels, doing their maneuvers off the coast in San Diego. There's probably a few people that do like to watch that, but for Laura, you don't just move in with somebody that you don't know anything about. Well, what she was saying, that let's say you do shack up with somebody, and you took two very completely different people. Maybe you're in bed together, and maybe the chick you're with, you would rather spend the night just in bed, not listening to anything, and you like to listen to different videos here on YouTube. Maybe you like to watch the ghost videos. Maybe you like to listen to the Y channel, WHY videos. You like to listen to those. When you can't sleep at 3 in the morning, or you like to listen to, like I said, ghost videos, or maybe you like to listen to, Words Unraveled. I like to listen to those. They're not ghost videos, but I like to listen to all kind of stuff, a wide variety of stuff. And I'm listening to that, and the chick I'm with doesn't like any of that type of stuff. She'd just rather go back to sleep. She can't stand listening to stuff like that. For Laura, hey, you find out the type the type of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and make sure that is a person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Now, if you really, really care about somebody, you can tolerate different things in your life, or not. Maybe this person likes beer, and your type of person likes red wine, or maybe you're a teetotaler. You find out the particular quirks of a person first. Make sure that your person you can stand to live with them. You may like them, but they have just such different habits that you get what I'm talking about, I think. Last thing I want to cover, totally unrelated. Now, this is an oscilloscope. I probably paid $5 or $10 for this thing probably 20 years ago. It's been sitting, rusting and decaying and all that. I haven't tried to turn it on yet. I'll probably open the screws and look at inside and just see what it looks like inside. Some of the knobs move, some of those little things where you hook cables and wires and stuff. Some of those move, some of those don't. In the foreseeable future, I'll probably soak those with maybe tuner cleaner, contact cleaner, WD-40 or something. I don't know, something. I have no idea why. Hang on, let me bring it back up here. Just dug it out and figured I would show its pretty face here on YouTube. There's probably people out there that are saying, what the F is a oscilloscope? Yeah, well, I'll explain that someday. There's got to be a few of us people that are into electronics and stuff like that know what it is. I said, I turned it, when I first got it, I turned it on, and it did work. Now, I used to hit up some of the live auctions we used to have in Phoenix. Used to be a handful of these auction places around. We go in there and get stuff like that for $5 or $10. And I bought loads of stuff that I had absolutely no use for. If you're some chick that likes to hit up the live auctions and buy stuff that you have absolutely no use for, or you say, well, someday I'll check it out, someday I'll see if it works or not. If you're some chick into that type of thing. Most of the chicks out there aren't hoarders. That's another thing you want to find out. You don't want to shack up with a hoarder if you're a really clean, neat person. Now, if you're a fellow hoarder, you may really get off on that kind of life, spend the rest of your life with a hoarder. Now, let me propose a scenario. Now, this guy, he drinks beer. He's a hoarder. He likes songger music. He likes to listen to ghost videos at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you're a chick. Maybe you like white wine. Maybe you like red wine. Maybe you're a total neat freak. Are you going to be happy with the person that's a hoarder? It's a beer guzzler. Just tossing it out to amuse myself. Or maybe two totally very different people. Because they say opposites attract. It's a crazy world. You get where I'm coming from on this. For Laura, what's Laura Nigella for me? I love her videos. Very neat chick. But again, we'd want to, if I stacked up with anybody, we would sit down and talk. We would find out what we liked and didn't like and stuff. Again, sometimes opposites attract. Sometimes opposites don't work at all. You get where I'm coming from on this. I've rambled on long enough. If you're a gearhead, if you're some chick into fixing up old vehicles, let me know. We'll sit down and compare notes. Or not. Okay, love y'all. Auf Wiedersehen. Igual con Dios. Ciao. Das Vestania. Malo. Bye-bye.